Welcome to Impact and Influence, the podcast for real estate business owners and professionals who are ready to make a bigger impact, scale, have greater sustainability, and increase their influence. This series opens the door to the sharpest minds across the industry, including agency owners, advisors, and trusted partners who share real-world insights and lessons learnt. These are short, practical conversations designed to save you time, sharpen your strategy, and help you build a business by design, not by default. If you're responsible for growth, profit, client experience, leadership, recruitment, or retention, this podcast is your go-to for smarter choices and more decisive leadership. It's proudly presented by Regrowth. We are a coaching and consulting business for the real estate arena. We help you build on capability, connection, and curiosity.
Welcome back to the next episode of Impact and Influence with Regrowth Consultancy. Today we are joined by Brad Beer, the CEO of BMT Tax Depreciation. Brad, thanks for joining us.
Lauren, great to be here as always.
You're, I believe, in sunny Gold Coast, travelling around the country as you do.
I am at the moment, doing our thing. I try not to go around the country too often, but it does, national business, so it takes me around the place. And yeah, it's beautiful and sunny outside, and I'm been standing around in a suit and tie. It's great.
I love it. National business is about 20 years. I should know the answer to that, because I've known you for about that long.
I actually started in the business in June 1998.
Wow.
So it's just about 27 years, and I was about 12 months old. Yes.
Enter my next question.
When I was 12, I started it. So it's been 27 years. Of the business is 28 years.
Yeah, wow.
So it's a long time, but I'm still enjoying it. So that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. Always a good start. I would say that most people in real estate know of BMT Tax Depreciation or know of Brad Beer. Can you give us a bit of the story of how you became from one office in Newcastle to a national business?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to keep that reasonably brief. 27 years in 2 minutes. I was at uni doing a construction management or building degree, which is what we do to become a quantity surveyor. And so, funnily enough, one of my lecturers was T, which was Tom in the BMT. There was 3 guys that had started this business out of a spare room in Broadmeadow, Newcastle. Just funnily enough, only a couple of blocks from the current office there, and I went to get some work experience. I was in second year of uni in 1998 and didn't really know what a depreciation schedule was, but they said, come and get some work experience. So I was the first, staff member under the guys. And we then, I think in the second week, we moved one of the original partners to Sydney to sort of start Sydney operations and drive the business from there. And I became a partner with those 2 guys in 2002, so a few years. So the 3 of us ran and owned and grew the business slowly throughout the rest of the country. I've spent a lot of time around all of the country since then, and then we would employ locals in areas and grew the business to where it is today. We've had some, at our height of numbers, we had about 230 staff. There's some legislation changes that sort of gave us some challenges and some drop back a bit, and then COVID, and there's about 200, just over 200 staff now. And we've done close to 1 million depreciation schedules, and it started from Newcastle, and 2 weeks after I started, we thought, well, we've got to do some more work everywhere else. So Sydney had started, and then probably a few years later it was Melbourne, Victoria, Queensland, and then Adelaide, Perth, everywhere else, and have slowly just employed people where we do our work, gone into markets where depreciation just wasn't done very well, still often isn't done very well by anyway, just look into that. And we just went and learned how to a product that wasn't well understood. We learned how to get it right, and we've always been really thorough at making sure we keep it right and get the maximum deductions for people, and push to new markets. and educate people. Like the big key's been educating people that there's depreciation here. There's a whole bunch of money you leave at the tax office, and just making sure I deliver great experiences for the people on the way. And so, yeah, that's the start from there to where it is today. And there's a couple hundred people. We're doing lots of depreciation schedules, and I've had a fantastic journey on the way. It's been great.
You've done a lot right, absolutely, to get to that point. Few lessons, I'm sure, along the way in scaling a business from, three of you to the hundreds that you employ now. What would be your kind of biggest lessons in scaling a business that people could learn from?
And I guess that's a question that I for 18 or 19 years, we grew every single year without fail, and we would just push hard for growth, always. So we're always marketing. There's lots of people go, "Oh, Bradley Beer, that's right. You're not just an email address that sends me emails." I was a couple of nights ago, I was there, and they go, "You send me emails every day." I'm like, "I don't do it every day," but she said, but I need a depreciation schedule, and it was great. Eventually, anyway, there's a consistent, I guess, marketing plan that exists, and then there's we have businesses need to be in whatever level of marketing machine in order to be in front of the people they need to be in front of, and stage one is learn how to understand that, learn how to do that, and then generate the inquiry that's generated. Make sure we deal with that inquiry that we generate by learning how to win the jobs, learning how to get in front of the people that influence recommending us, and that's predominantly the accounting industry is number one. Get trusted by them by making sure that we've got a product that is right, it does the best job it can do, and make sure that the experiences are fantastic. And that it works in so many ways, and it's actually not really rocket science.
No, and it's so relatable to a real estate business, right? Like you've got to be in front of the right people. Your message has to be, and your marketing has to be consistent, so that when the time comes, like yours is, I need a tax depreciation, and you happen to send me an email on that day. Well, that's one of hundreds of emails. The same for real estate agents. Oh, I happen to want to think about selling my house now. Oh, you happen to be emailing me consistently, so it's top of mind. So very similar.
Because people don't. Investors especially, or accountants and real estate agents for that matter, don't sit around all day thinking about a depreciation schedule. So I need to be the person, I might. But,
sorry, Brad, I don't.
Every day, without fail. Maybe not on the weekends too much. Oh, actually, anyway. So we need to be there in the right place, but we need to also, our business operates on referral. We don't pay a referral fee to get the accountant to tell the person where the guy or the girl to do it. We needed to produce a product that was the one that gets it right, and we get known. And it's about trust, especially with accountants. If you burn one of their clients, they will not like you forever. So we treated that relationship and that referral like a piece of gold from the start, and like beyond. And given we're someone that does like a report for an end user once, most investors only buy one investment property, and then a few buy two. But for us, we didn't treat it like it's a one transaction, because once they buy it from us, they actually don't need another one, unfortunately. But the accountant, I need them to come away from an experience where the accountant said, "Call BMT; they're the right guys to do it." We make it clear. We talk to that client. We make it clear we don't get paid. We don't pay the accountant to say that. And after that, I need them going back to the accountant and say, "Thank you for referring." Not just, "Oh, here it is. Thank you. I've got it. Geez, that was a great experience." And then you think of the net promoter scores and the things that we have our level of measurement for. And even if we don't do a net promoter score system perfectly, I need my people as best I can to believe that matters and understand the concept of it, not just get a score. And the scores are important. That's the measurement of it. But if I can have everyone that touches someone from in my organisation go, "Got that, it's done, it's whatever, geez, it was easy. Thank you for referring me." The accountant go, "Get one from there, because there's nowhere else that you get the same experience from." I also had to, and I've also had to learn on the other side, due to a legislation change, how to run a business that no longer scales. back to your original question of growth, we kept pushing harder and were successful. We'd outstrip our results. We brought business coaches in to say, what are you going to do in 5 years, then 1 year, then 30 days to get to 1 year? And the original business coach that we had and did that first in, I think, 2001, that drags you there and says, how are you going to get here in 5 years? And does that type of process, was a fantastic process for us. I've probably run, I don't know, 10 programs with him. He's retired now, and he's trainer over the years to get to where we go, to where we want to go. And it'd be consistent marketing plan, making sure we've pulled the experience piece of what we do apart so many times to go and had so many different people come. And how do we learn how to make this so that they're going to go away and say it was awesome, even though it's bought once, right down to, and if something does go wrong with humans, we muck it up sometimes. And so it's the phone, my mobile that just beeped us is the one that's still on the cards that go out to the people. So even though I'm busy and don't answer it all that often, because when I do, you can get to me and I'll go fix it. Right. Still, even with the transactions that are $700 when we do tens of thousands of them a year, I've still got some hands-on in caring about what the client's experience is, because every accountant that's unhappy with anything is damage to the future of our business. Learning how to run it while it was declining as well, like doing those things right for all those years meant that we could grow, and we usually outstripped with the help alongside us, and we actually pushed into a market by educating that wasn't educated. And as we've got saturated, that makes it harder to grow. And as they change a bit of legislation, I had to go back 10 or 15 years in education to the accountants and even the real estate industry, and say, well, I know you thought it was all gone, but it's not. It's changed. They're still here. While there's less people ordering jobs, and you've got less revenue to do that with. So that was also a absolutely solid learning curve over a period of time that rolled into COVID, which everyone got a learning curve out of, and how to do it both ways. How to, because I was pretty good at employing extra people and working how to make it growth and make it efficient for 18 years, because that's allowed to do. Then how do you do it the other way as well and stabilize your business, still make profit on the way through, is also another challenge that I had to go through. And then again in COVID, but that legislation change versus COVID. COVID was not a walk in the park, but it was definitely not as difficult from a business. It was difficult in different ways, but it was not a challenge of, well, the goalposts have moved, the rules have changed. How do we pivot into turning it around when that thing has made an impact on the number of reports that are available in the market to do? So anyway, that was a long answer.
A good answer, though. A good answer.
Yeah, so that journey's been great. It's been good.
Can you tell me around when something, well, I suppose you just answered that question, when something went wrong in terms of COVID, but is there another time where something's not gone to plan? Like we can all have business plans in place, but they don't always, work out in the time frame, or the exact plan doesn't always go to plan. So is there an example you could give me?
Well, those two, like that legislation change that's dealt to us and a COVID, are two very big things. Haven't gone to plan. But in saying that, I didn't plan either of those things. There is definitely, obviously, there are definitely times where even when you've gone to play, like, I've had a private equity invested into our business that bought my original partners out. I've been through that for 7 or 8 years, which was an interesting time there, and that they were there when COVID was there. Private investors are looking for growth out of businesses, and then get thrown a curveball. So managing the stakeholders through that situation was very interesting. Then having a business that you've known and loved forever put on the market for sale. Me and the two other my management team actually purchased the business and raised some money and did that instead. But they were all, massive learning curves. A lot of those things didn't go to plan.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They didn't go to plan the way expected. Sitting and watching some investors put the business on the market, to have to go to the market, was not in my plan. But we work through those challenges on how to, and I've come out the other side with a lot of learning and a lot of experience in how to do that, how to raise the debt. I was pretty good at raising debt to buy properties, but that's kind of easy. It's a whole new ball game in business. So all of those have been definitely some challenging times on how do we get from here to here, and how do we, some of our biggest challenges now with a much more saturated market due to our education and the fact that we do a lot more jobs, so there's a lot more of it saturated. There's less of them there when due to that legislation change to do, and growth is really difficult when we have such a solid market share effectively. So that's one of the challenges we do have now. I would say that we did a bunch of other traditional coin surveying services for a number of years earlier in the time, and back to, I guess, I just think at the times you've been thrown a challenge. We had whole another side of the business that did the traditional let's go count the bricks for the builders and developers type quantity surveying. We didn't actually get into what we do there, and we did. Depreciation was always the main game. It's the main business. It's what we've done, and we did this whole other business where we certified construction costs for banks on the way through projects, and it was a hard part of quantity surveying that was very hard to scale because of the people you needed. Very big learning curve on that. If anything's wrong, they want the directors to come, and like construction projects go south sometimes due to poor management or people run out of money, and you're always dragged into these things. And it was always those at the top, the directors, that they'd want to come and sort that out with the banks and the developers and do that. Very difficult to scale, and we, just to not damage our brand, we probably held on a lot longer with that business, going, let's not do any damage to the depreciation side. And if I had a learning from that, it's fail fast and fix fast, which is something I heard later on. But what it is, if it's not going to work, then make some decisions and move on, work out how to deal with it. We still finished all our jobs, which was the right thing to do, and I would do that again, all the jobs that we had running with banks, etc. But I think we cut off that infected finger, as we call it, before it gets your hand. We used to call it. At a time that rolled into the GFC where it was even just harder because lots of squeeze on construction projects and money. So it was a difficult business to scale, and learning from, I guess, the diversification piece there, that sometimes if your knitting's good, stick to it. But also, is it the right thing? When's the time to cut it? When's the time to think about a different way you run your business, I guess?
Yeah, great lesson. I like that. I like it. You mentioned earlier around, still like your phone's ringing and still being involved and fixing problems. And I know often we have a conversation and I'll say, who do you want me to contact? You're like, oh, just message me or call me. And I'm like, Brad, you can't do everything. We, as a leader, it's sometimes difficult to be okay with not doing everything. But I'm really curious what your leadership team looks like and how they support you as a CEO, and what your individual roles are and how you kind of came to that.
I'll answer two bits. I don't actually do everything, as you know, but I'm available if it really comes to that. Like if there's a problem, often they'll deal with it, but I just want to know that I can call at the end and go, if we sort everything out, is there anything else I need to do? Yeah. So that's kind of not doing everything. You send it to me, and a very good PA that helps, I guess, manage the emails, and there's a lot of the messages say that it's like, Brad, I'm going to get someone that actually sort that out for you, but I can at least get to the back end of it. But anyway, my management team are now my partners, the executive leadership team. There's three of us. They have been with me for, I don't know, 22 and 24 years or something. So we've got a long time together. And then I have a CFO. So two of those. One runs basically marketing, business development, the sales related parts of the business. Anyone who's sort of most people who are people facing, he's involved with, and he came through the same degree that I did a few years afterwards, and started with us. It was 23, 24 years ago, and he will have under him of each department. So the marketing department has a manager that reports they all report into the executive leadership team, which is the three of us. But they do, and for me, they do actually report first via one of these two.
Yep.
So the head of marketing and the head of business development, the head of the guys that are around the country in the part business development role will actually report into a manager. Two different managers that report to Noel, who's the business partner, but they really report to all. So I'm across where they sort of report to everybody, but day to day they report to them. And the other has been with us. She's been with us for about Leanne for slightly less. She started as the general manager. Still, actually, her title's probably not the right title, but she kind of looks after, I guess, production of reports departments, IT, finance, and she's the backbone of all anything in there that needs to get done properly, keeping a handle on us, make sure we don't spend all the money.
She's got a big role.
And looks after those finance departments. I'm not the person with numbers. I've got enough across everything, but sitting there making a spreadsheet of those is not my gig. And the CFO does most of it these days, but her teams report to her. She's got good relationship with her teams, and they'll come and pull together. What we've done very good is measuring things and the monthly reports that are pulled together. And I do have the managers of departments come and present them to the executive team. And by the end of the month, it's a bit late. It's really what was good, and all I want from that is I obviously want to know where the business is at, but I could read the reports, but I want them to come and explain, I guess. And I don't bring me anything that tells what this month was. I want to know this month, last month, year to date this year, year to date last year, same month last year, because we're a very seasonal business in every department. It's always got to be a comparison to before. We're either getting better or getting worse. Why are we getting better or why are we getting worse?
Yeah.
Because whatever you did that made it better. And if there is a problem and the numbers aren't good in that department for whatever reason in that month, the question is it's not for me to fix now. This is what I've done to make sure we change that before I see you next month, Brad, and have to have to answer the hard questions about the performance of that department. That reporting that comes out shouldn't be what they should be living at every day. I'm seeing at the end and seeing what they've already done or got, and they manage those departments very well. And over the years, the data's better and worse for that, and we're good and bad at that sometimes. But we try to have all departments come down, and the department that looks after the quality of what we do can tell me every month how many times. Not that it's relevant anymore because it's a bit more automatic, but how often did we send a report to someone with their name spelt wrong? Because that matters. And as a percentage, those reports could deliver that information. And I go, well, don't make that can't go up, because as soon as someone picks up a report, you spell the name wrong, it doesn't matter for the numbers, but they already have judged you.
Correct.
So everything from that to, when some person in my team goes through in the house and doesn't see the air conditioner on the wall, and we miss the air conditioner for the client, which is an important part of deductions. Every one of those gets fed back. Number of times did it get out to a client with a problem like that? It's a very small percentage, but I care about it, and it's come there. And if you're the person in that department presenting on the quality of a BMT report, and you come with bad stats for the month, you better have some good reasons to tell me what you've done about it before you get there. And that was a bit. And if I cast that back to the original way we were in this business, that used to be when there was only a few of us, and we used to print reports on paper. There was a tray of the finalised reports, and I would they were required to come make sure they're perfect before they get there. But every now and then I would pick up that tray and read all those reports that were done that day. And if there was problems, they'd be held to pay. And so it was like and when I say held to pay, we can't let things that aren't perfect go out of this office.
Yep.
There's no excuse for that, because we will be judged on that, and that's the future of our business. And so trying to make sure that understanding the importance of a fantastic client experience, right down to those things of perfection, is what we try, and we don't always get it right, to have all of my team believing and understand. And it makes me think of induction in the old days.
Yeah.
I'll say the old days. As soon as I used to have these, apparently they're all too scared of me now, but I used to have these new staff lunches, and I would sit down and go to the new staff lunches until they all got 30 years younger than me and too scared. But that's not quite right. Go to these lunches and go, and I would just sit down and have a conversation about client experience and how important it is, so that you come in from the ground understanding that everyone from the person that answers the phone and smiles while they do it, that touches someone on the way in this process, needs to make it so that they go away and go, this is awesome. There's nothing rocket science about that, but if we can try to push that through the whole organization, which, by the way, is substantially harder as you get bigger to do that with all of the challenges of life that exist, but across staffing, etc., and when there's pressure on. And, we haven't always got it right, but I still do our best to make sure we drive it from the top to the bottom, that is the case. And I hope that comes across. Well, I think given the market share that we have, and I was sitting at one of the conferences yesterday next to someone who I've never met, said, "Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys, I called you last week," and it was like, and I know I've got good capacity at the moment because we've, staffed pretty hard because we're behind for a while. She's like, and she said, I got off the phone. There's an email, there's an SMS. They've called. The inspection's booked in. So I was like, fantastic clockwork. You think it's awesome, and I didn't have to do anything about that today. Said, listen to that from you, which is beautiful.
Fantastic feedback, yeah.
Yes. So we when you get those things, it's like, all right, we're successful. We made it happen, and that's, fantastic for me. That goes. Oh, I'm glad I went to that conference and heard that yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think listening to you today, like my lesson in, if I call it a lesson in leadership, is regardless of the size of your business, still being involved in every element. And I know you can't do everything, but just checking in, and the metrics and what you're reporting on and what you're measuring on is so important to have that understanding. And I think that's awesome. So I'm going to ask you a big question to wrap us up, is what's your biggest lesson in leadership that you'd like to share today?
Jeez.
I did warn you.
I think, I don't know if I could, if I made that very simplistic, I'd say fail fast, fix fast. That's a bit simplistic for that. I get, and I don't know if this is a lesson other than something I think is really important. That the people are the asset that create, no matter what I think we want to do. And also, we're not perfect at this. So some people that work for you are happy and some are not. Yeah. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's not. The people that you employ, and having them believing what you believe, that's been that's made the business successful, are the asset that you need to somehow nurture through to get to that and want to come and work there. And I'm not going to say we've been perfect that forever, because we've been through some pretty solid challenges where the business goes downwards and whatever, and based on things we can't control. But I guess I've probably been better over the years at making sure we worry about whether someone's name's spelt wrong on a report than some of the internal, where I've got to, and we try to have the use to make sure we get both those. But the people that they are what produce whatever your business does. When we're in one, that people are going to see people. Everything they do is a reflection of regard of our business, and so we try to make sure that they go out there wearing it on their sleeve wherever they can.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was a long, fluffy answer, wasn't it?
No, but it was a fabulous answer. Like, essentially, external client experience is so important, but so is internal client experience, because that's what has the impact on the external. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Good. Brad, thank you for your time. I know you are a very busy man, and I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks, Laura. Love to do it. Makes you think.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Impact and Influence. Click follow to get notified about future episodes. Leaving a review helps others find the podcast. And to learn more about our courses, our study tours, conferences, keynote topics, and our services, or how simply we might be able to help support you in taking you to places you never thought possible, please visit regrowthkyliewalsh.com.